Hello, this is Stephanie Perrault, your realtor host with What's Up Silicon Valley, the only show that is dedicated to talk and explore what's happening with the real estate market. The show is addressing the ways in which the corporate world and the community are impacting our local real estate market, which is residential or commercial. And today we are going to explore the impact of Google on the Silicon Valley. Now this is the time for the street interview. We went on Castro Street and we asked the public what they think about the impact of Google in our community. What is your favorite search engine?
Google.
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 Google. Google.
Google.
Not Google. It's Google.
It's Google.
Yeah.
I only ever use Google.
Yeah, same here. I only ever use Google.
Google.
What is your favorite tool that you like to use with Google?
Gmail.
I kind of like Google Maps just because it lets me know wherever I am at.
Google Maps.
Email.
Yeah, I use Gmail all the time.
I used to use Picasa, but now I use Google Play.
Google Mail is one of the best things that we've got going.
Gmail a lot for both work and my personal email.
What do you think is making Google successful?
Their tools work. The search engine is really good. It gives great results. Maybe advertising is starting to go a little crazy with it now, but it's a good search tool. It works. Gives you the relevant results.
Probably how they treat their employees, kind of known for a lot of employee benefits.
What do you think is making Google successful?
Smart algorithms.
They do everything. They're taking over the world.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just totally ubiquitous. I mean, you can go to one website and use everything that you need.
Because it's famous, first of all, and its search engine is pretty good. And a lot of people all over the world use it, so that's why it's probably famous.
It's really quick. The search engine is really fast, and it has. Yeah, it's popular. It's just a circle. It's popular, and you use it more, and it gets more popular. So that's what is making it more successful.
Because it's so accessible, and you can pretty much get anything you want when you use it.
Well, they did make a really good search engine in the beginning, but now they just have so many products. They actually have, so much information that people depend on now, both like email and calendar and all those things. So it's kind of hard to avoid Google now.
Innovation, innovation, and innovation.
In what area do you think Google could improve?
I don't like how they're putting Google Plus into everything and just kind of going wild with Google Plus. I wish it would just keep the results more clean and simple.
I think it's pretty much improved in all areas.
They can stop doing is just disclosing so many of people's personal details.
Their new privacy policy is a little bit scary, so I wish they had a little more options there around how users actually let their information be used by Google, so I just like a little more around that.
Asking for more input from the user community and responding better to that input.
And how do you think Google is impacting our local business around and the local real estate market?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any actual knowledge, but I would assume it would bring in a lot of people and a lot of people with money, especially, and that would probably affect the real estate market by letting more people spend more money.
Maybe people can Google where homes are available.
I'm sure it's helping. They pump a lot of money into Mountain View, and the school system they seems to benefit, and I'm sure the real estate market's going up because of them.
I don't know about local business, but I know that they help a lot of us renters in Mountain View. It's like a renter's discounts.
I don't see any impact of Google in the real estate market.
Google certainly helps the local restaurants here because I know that a bunch of their people come down here to eat. In our business, they've really helped by launching the Google Books program and allowing independent bookstores to sell all kinds of books online that would normally be very hard for an independent bookstore to set up and maintain.
Well, real estate, I mean, Google's just down the street, so I know a lot of Google employees live around here, which makes everything more expensive, but it's kind of interesting actually. Up at Books Inc. down the street, they're doing this program where you can buy books at the store, but actually use it on Google Reader. So on there, or I forget what they call it now, the app on the iPhone and Android tablet and everything like that, which is cool, but they need to improve it before it's really that usable. But I like that idea of actually working with local businesses.
Hello, this is Stephanie Perrault with What's Up Silicon Valley Real Estate. We are here in the headquarters of Google in the city of Mountain View, and we are going to an exclusive interview with John Ago, who is the Director of Construction and Design here at Google. We're going to talk about real estate, their future projects, and also their involvement in the community. Then let's go and see what they have to say. Hello, I'm very excited today. I am with John Ago at the Google headquarters, and we are going to talk about real estate. John, the whole community, the Silicon Valley, have seen Google growing into a giant, and it has increased with building and more employees, which is great for the dynamic of the Silicon Valley. My question is, what do you think the impact of all of that has on the residential and commercial real estate market?
Well, we certainly have been growing. And in fact, the interesting thing is that with the opportunity that's come forth with the general plan, we actually see an opportunity to stop sprawling out all over Mountain View and to actually concentrate on North Shoreline in particular with the increased density that the general plan allows. But we have had an impact. In fact, we're up to 2,000 employees living in Mountain View right now. So we've had an impact not on commercial real estate, but also on the residential real estate. But we hope it's for the better, for the positive.
Oh, that's great. Then you're also very much involved with the project that is on the North Shoreline.
Yes.
And how do you work it out with the community and with the city for the general plan?
Right. So the city is going through its final process right now for the approval of the general plan. And the expectation is that the Planning Commission will actually vote on it towards the end of June, and then the City Council will vote on the adoption of the general plan in early July. So we've been attending a series of the workshops and the town hall meetings and things of that sort, and so have several of our Googlers have attended and expressed their support for the general plan. As I say, very, very dynamic plan, very thought-provoking, and if you will, very forward-thinking. It's been praised. In fact, the same concept that the general plan has put forward has just been put forward by Spur, saying that that's the type of smart growth it should be, that enables cities to grow, but yet if they can grow along a transportation corridor, then it enables them to actually reduce the amount of traffic that's flowing in, at the same time increase the amount of work jobs. So it's a nice fine balance.
How much Google is involved in that project, and what are you planning on doing it exactly?
Well, we're involved in the process because we're a major landowner in North Bayshore. But what we're hoping to do is that with the enactment of the general plan, then we will be able to start work on primarily what's called the Charleston East site. That's the site that we actually lease from the city, and that we would be able to start our design work and then eventually sometime next year to hopefully move into construction.
Fantastic. And I also heard that you are going to be involved with the transportation and so on?
Yes. Well, part of the whole, and again, this is part of the thoughtfulness of the City of Mountain View in the general plan process, is that they're, in addition to doing the general plan, they're also doing a transportation study of the whole North Bayshore and looking out several years so that they can try and figure out what are the mitigation measures and the traffic improvements that they need to do starting from right now out through several years. So that should be finished in November. But we're also actually working right now with the city regarding the synchronization of lights on North Shoreline, working with the city and Caltrans to try and ensure that that flow up North Shoreline, anyone that has come there early in the morning knows that there's sometimes some traffic there. We're trying to alleviate that right now. So.
Then how many people are on the road to work to Google in the morning?
Well, we don't know whether it's just coming to Google or whether it's, we also have Microsoft here and
definitely.
Intuit and LinkedIn. So, but there is a lot of traffic coming into North Shoreline. And so we feel, in fact, all of the companies I just mentioned, we work collaboratively together to figure out how can we synchronize the bus programs that we each have, as well as other means of encouraging mass transit. So and clearly we're just about, in fact we're all in support of the electrification of Caltrain, because that will enable greater capacity on Caltrain, which again gets buses and cars off the road.
You also are going to be innovating on green construction.
Oh yes, yes, and that's probably one of the most exciting things that we're doing. We're very much focused. The standard, if you will, is what's called the LEED. But we think that LEED is great, but we actually want to do a little bit more than LEED. So there's another standard called the Living Building Challenge, which we're aspiring to. I'm not saying we're going to get it all, but we're aspiring to it. So that really is very much focused on reduction of water consumption, reducing power, as well as reducing waste and things of that sort. So we're looking very much at all these things that we can do, if you will, to be a better citizen, to be more sensitive to the environment. And then that's in addition to all of the building related items that you would get into to reduce energy consumption, better insulation, better window treatment, just everything we can do to, again, have a higher environmental quality in the building and do it at less cost and less consumption of the natural resources.
This is great. This is fantastic.
Well, it's exciting.
Yes, it is, definitely. And how many people are working at Google currently here in the headquarters?
It's very dynamic, as you know, and so what we indicate is that it's about 1/3 of the total workforce worldwide. So we don't give out specific data for any of our locations, but Mountain View is about 1/3 of the workforce.
Okay. Also, you're very much involved with the community and giving back, and I would like to talk more a little bit about that,
yes.
The wireless in the bookstores and so
yes.
on.
Oh, thank you. We absolutely have the wireless program in Mountain View, and we're constantly looking at ways that we can even increase the performance of it and make it even a better tool for the citizens. The other thing that we're doing is that every year Google has a program where it's called Google Serve. So what it amounts to is that everyone here on campus is given an opportunity to go out and to work in a project. And so we will be doing that again this year, and it's probably, I think, about the second week in June, where we'll be going out to different local venues to be able to get to work, swing the hammer, paint walls, clean up, and whatever, things like that. So that's another thing that we're doing. And obviously last year we made a major contribution to the school system in support of the STEM, that's the scientific, technical education area. And so we think that, we contribute that way. But there's a lot of little, and then there's always the volunteerism of the Googles in the community, the 2,000 people who work in the community. So we want to be a good neighbor.
You definitely are a good neighbor.
Well, we're trying.
And you are also very well known for designing amazing work environments. And who is behind, and how do you guys are achieving all of this amazing work?
Well, I think that the driving force behind it is actually the founders, because they were the ones who always said we should achieve to have a space that is very conducive to creativity. And so what we try to do is to differentiate our different buildings so that the manner of creativity changes from place to place. But the sole concept is create efficiency with regard to the workspace so that you then can have different areas that you can use for your creativity. And so whether it amounts to a slide, we've used those in a number of places, and it seems to be very enjoyable and fun. We, in certain cases, have actually used a gondola as a conference room. So there's all different, I just have to think, a fireman's slide, the pole, fireman's pole. So there's a lot of different things, but the whole idea there is that to create a very good environment where the employees feel comfortable, indoor air quality is high level, but yet it's funky. So that, and to a certain extent, we allow them actually to participate in figuring out what they would like to do that helps to be the creative portion of it. So that's what we do.
Then you also have like incorporating kind of like a little committee of brainstorming ideas about.
We try to, as you say, indicate, bring the users into the design process so that they can help in creating the space, and some of the different users have different requirements, that their technical requirements are different. So we try to be as careful about making sure that their technical requirements are met, as well as, if you will, the funky side of things.
And what is your favorite features at Google?
That's a good question. Actually, I think that the pool table and the ping pong is very interesting, because it is amazing the level of competition that people get involved with regard to things like a ping pong tournament. And you know, that brings them together, and you say, gee, if they're playing ping pong, they're not writing code. It's very interesting how they look forward to the tournament, and they look forward to that competitiveness, and it actually is more of a relaxation, and helps them to, if you will, be better prepared to write code. So I think that that's really the really great thing. And then the intramural programs that they have for the different basketball sports, basketball and football, tag football, soccer, and things of that sort. So I think that these are the types of things where there's a good cross-section between taking some time out to have fun with your fellow Googlers, and heads down time to be writing code or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, you guys have everything that can be thought of. I even saw a yoga room the other day, which is great.
Yes, well, we, again, remember our focus on wellness. And so the wellness is not just related to the indoor air quality. It's related to the food that's served here. The very fact that it's very, very clearly stated on every portion, you know, what is the calorie content, and with regard to carbohydrates and everything of that sort. So we really want to make sure that our employees have at least the information that they need to make the right choices about what they eat, the yoga program, the massage program. All of these are really around the wellness. That's really the focus.
And then Google is like kind of like a model for a city of the future, because it's basically a little community that on an everyday basis live together, and they also interact with each other while working.
Yes, no, it is a community, and we're very interested in encouraging that, as well as actually reaching out to the community we live in. And so we want to be more and more open to participating with the City of Mountain View and the residents, and to actually bringing them into the campus or through the campus, so that they can see that this is a welcome environment. And so a lot of the plans that we've had with regard to the North Shoreline would be to create more retail space there, and if the council would agree, we'd probably have some residential there too, because that again is part of creating activity and this electric feeling of excitement.
Thank you, Johnny. It was great to learn about more about Google. Great information.
Well, thank you very much for asking us, and we look forward to continue to be a great part of the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I am so pleased to have Ron Vincent here again today on our show. We are going to explore the Google world, and Ron, with his wealth of knowledge in regard to the history of the technology, is going to tell us everything about Google. When did Google appear in Mountain View?
I believe Google appeared in Mountain View about 2002. There was a couple of students at Stanford that decided they had a better way of searching what was on the web. It had been quite a predicament before that. And they had done this work while at Stanford. And as I understand it, at one point they wanted to pursue their academic side rather than their business side, and had offered the company for sale for $1 million. And some of the venture capital guys thought that was a little too much money, and the deal didn't quite close.
Well, when Google became public, what was the vibe here in Mountain View?
Had a big influence. Downtown had a lot more people. coming out than before, it seemed. I think there was this general attitude on the part of the city that there was going to be more money, that there was going to be a new, larger corporate presence than had been here before, very possibly rivaling what HP had been at Mayfield Mall, or maybe what Fairchild had been back in the middle 60s. I don't think anybody ever foresaw it getting as large as it has gotten. I believe there's more than 10,000 people that work in the Googleplex, as it's called now.
Could you tell about the change?
It's had a really good long-term effect in that the initial founders have families now. A lot of them live in Mountain View. They've become active in the political life of the town, the school boards, PTAs. They're in general a very good influence, not a bad influence. Certainly Google's efforts to install free Wi-Fi everywhere were generally well received anyway. There weren't too many complaints about them doing that.
Yeah, that's definitely a great benefit for the community.
Indeed, indeed, yes.
Last show you were saying that where now Google has been built, it used to be a dump, isn't it?
Yeah, the outer end of where the Googleplex is where the Mountain View dump was. The city of San Francisco used to dump their garbage. And it is, and the bulk of that is now Shoreline and the amphitheater. And it's wonderful to hike out there. There's a beautiful view from the top of the highest garbage mound. It's, again, the city of Mountain View over the years has had a lot of foresight in developing the area out there.
Thank you very much. It was great to hear your point of view and so many different aspects of Google being here in Mountain View. It was great having you in the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shashank is here with me to give us a quick overview about the interest rate.
So the mortgage rates are still at historically lowest levels. Yes, and if you have a loan amount of less than 417, they are still under 4%, both for the conventional loan and FHA. If it's over 417, then you may expect to pay an additional 1/8 to 1/4%. And I do expect the rates to remain kind of in that range for next month or so. Having said that, mortgage rates are subject to change daily. So before you get into a mortgage application, make sure you check with the lender on what the rates are on that particular day.
Thank you very much. It was the minute for the interest rate. Hello, we are here in Sunnyvale on Gardner Drive, and this home hasn't been on the market since 1991. It's for sale at $424,988, and it's the first day on the market today. It's a broker open. Then we are going to pay a visit to the seller and also interview the listing agent and ask a couple of questions to realtors who are coming to pay a visit to that home. Here we are with the seller of the home, Edward, and we're going to learn a little more about the story of this home. Tell me, Edward, when did you bought that home at the first place?
In 1991. It belonged to one of my clients. I'm a real estate agent. And it was a very bad market because the Russian economy had collapsed and the Berlin Wall came down, and Lockheed, that was just a few blocks from here, was laying off many people. So we bought the home and we sold him a new home.
Wow.
So we kept it rented all these years until now it's time to sell.
Excellent. Then what is your projection in terms of how long the home is going to stay on the market?
Well, the market has gotten better in the last month or two, and we were hoping it'll be on for less than a month.
All right.
But we will know that very soon.
And you did update that home very well because it's very pretty. It's totally redone and it's full of light. It's beautiful. What did you do exactly?
We put in all new windows. We put in new ceramic tile floors and new granite counters and new cabinets. We remodeled the whole kitchen. Everything in the kitchen is new. New appliances, lights, granite counters, floors. Same with the bathrooms. The rest of the house we painted, put in all new windows. We put in new carpet, new paint. So it's just like a new house in a way.
So we are with Kevin. Kevin is the listing agent of this beautiful home that has been totally renovated from head to toe. And we're going to learn more about it. First, the price is $424,988,000. Where are the $988,000 coming from?
Well, we just wanted to price it just below $425,000, and the $88 signifies good luck for our Chinese and Asian buyers. So we use that number to draw attention to ourselves and to give a good feeling to our buyers.
All right. And how are you putting the word out for this home?
Well, we start off by just telling our whole office about it at our weekly marketing meetings. And then we have a board meeting with the whole city and area for the Mid-Peninsula Data Service Boards meeting in Cupertino, where all the agents get together and we all network with each other. And I announced it this morning to bring in more traffic and more agents who bring the buyers.
Excellent. And what are your estimations for the time this home is going to stay on the market?
It should sit on the market for about a week. What we'll do is we'll hold offers back. So someone may see it the first day and want to buy it, but we'll say, no, you need to come in after the open house weekend and give everyone a chance to see it, so we get our best price with the full market, and they'll have a chance to look over the house and make their best and highest offer.
Then basically you're going to look at the offer next week and you're going to give a deadline, a day?
We may, since we're just very close to the weekend here, we may wait for one more weekend to give it a whole week of showing, and then we'll have the open houses. This weekend's coming up, the National Association of Realtors nationwide open houses. So this weekend's going to be a very big weekend for open houses across the country.
Excellent, what a great opportunity.
Oh yes.
In your opinion, how many days before this property will sell?
I think it'll sell fast. It's a good range for buyers.
It should sell probably within, I would say, 2 weeks.
It's going to go fast.
What is the toughest price range for a buyer in this market?
I think with the lending restrictions, it's the high end, over $1 million plus.
$1 million plus?
It varies because it all depends on the buyer's income, and it depends on the area he wants to buy in.
What is the easiest range price for a buyer?
The lower the better.
Have you come across any multiple offer situation recently?
Yes, there's lots of multiple offers out there. It's a seller's market.
Hi Stephanie, we're back. It's been 2 weeks since we saw you at the open house. We've had 5 offers on the property. Everybody was so excited to buy it. We could only choose one buyer. Most every offer came in over the list price, so it was very difficult to choose for the owner. We did select one nice buyer, and we got our appraisal in about a week, and our inspections all behind us. The market did not quite give us the same value as the buyers did, so the bank wanted to do it a little less, so the sellers were kind enough to lower the price to complete the sale. And we should be closing in about 2 weeks by the end of the month and have the new family in the house. Everything's just doing great. Thanks, Stephanie. We'll see you at closing.
Hi, this is Stephanie Perrault, and thank you for watching our show. And don't forget about our next rendezvous. Next month, we're having a subject on real estate contract cracks, and we're going to have a panel discussion with lawyers, realtors, and lenders about the bumps that we can encounter during the life of an escrow. Then thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next month.